Now, I've got some history with the shoes that we are looking at today, and I've actually run in version 6, 7, 10, 11, and 12. For some reason, I missed out number 13, but we are back today with version 14 of Saucony's lightweight daily trainer, the KINVARA. Now, it looks like there's been a lot of changes made when I compare them to the 12s that we actually reviewed on the channel. And recently, I've been doing a lot of my road runs in the KINVARA Pro and really enjoying how they've been performing. So very excited to take these out today. This particular version of the KINVARA 14 has also got a bit of a party trick, but we'll show you that a little bit later on in the video, so stay tuned. But let's dive in and take these out for their first run. Welcome back, folks. Thanks for joining us for another video. I hope everybody is fit and well out there. I'm Lloyd Purvis and this is Run4Adventure. So we're going to start off by giving you a few facts and figures about the new KINVARA 14, and I'm also going to be breaking down the construction in a bit more detail before we lace them up. They retail in the UK for £130, and obviously being a lightweight daily trainer, I expected the shoes to be pretty stripped back, but I gotta say, I was very surprised when I put them on the scales, and it actually weighs in at only 216 grams in a UK 9.5. So this is a very light daily indeed. It runs off the same sort of KINVARA 4mm heel offset. So we've got a stack height of 31mm on the heel and 27mm under the forefoot. Starting with the upper first, we've got this twin engineered mesh design, and considering this is so lightweight, the fabric actually feels pretty substantial. Inside that upper, we've got your sort of standard stripped back, thin, gusseted tongue design that you tend to get in most lightweight running shoes these days. I would say we've got a moderate level of padding around the ankle collar and in the heel cup. We've also got some nice sort of reinforcement around the toe box and some fabric overlays around that ankle collar for a bit of extra durability. And then last but not least, we've got a pretty sort of standard looking lace setup. Working down, and Saucony have stuck with their full power run foam midsole construction. But believe it or not, we are looking at a running shoe today, a road running shoe that doesn't have any form of plate in the midsole. So no carbon, no TPU plate, and funnily enough, look how flexible the shoe is at the midfoot, and that really does make a refreshing change. We've also got a new rocker geometry worked in there for a smoother and faster transition. And if I just pull out the insole there, you'll also see that you get a pair of the brilliantly comfortable Saucony Power Run Plus footbeds, which I am a big fan of. And then finishing off, if we grab the shoe and have a look at the bottom there, you can see that we've pretty much got an exposed EVA outsole. So just a little bit of blown rubber under the big toe and on the outside edge of the heel. I've got to be honest, I'm not a big fan of this, but it's always been the way it's been done on the KINVARA. Obviously, it's to keep the weight down to a minimum, but I think a little bit more blown rubber would be good when it comes to durability. Although, to be fair, I have always found that this exposed outsole on the KINVARA has actually held up pretty well when it comes to mileage. So there you have it, folks, the nice and light and very versatile daily trainer from Saucony, the KINVARA 14s. But just before I lace them up and take them out for their first run, if you have been enjoying the content that we're producing on the channel and you do find it helpful, then maybe today is the day to consider subscribing. Only takes a few seconds to do just by clicking on that little red box down in the corner. But the best part is it is completely free, but it's definitely a big help to the channel. But I'm off to get changed. I'm going to get these on my feet, and we'll see you guys out on the roads of Cornwall. You just seem to have one single thing in mind. I'm casting our date to save some time. On the edge of life. Okay. So that is 2 miles done, all the way uphill to start with, so that's definitely got the lungs working hard and the legs pumping. I actually had to wait a couple of hours to come out and film because it absolutely chucked it down, and it would have been impossible to be out here with cameras. We got a little bit of blue sky at the moment, but don't let it fool you. There is a real strong chilly wind, hence why I've got my Saucony jacket on. Right, the first thing to mention, and this comes as a bit of a surprise, is I think the KINVARA 14s actually size up quite long. Now, I've always gone for a 9.5 in Saucony shoes. They've always fitted really well, and I personally think they're one of the most consistent running brands when it comes to their sizing, but I've got pretty much a full thumb's width in my shorter foot, so they are quite big on sizing. I think I probably could have got away with a UK 9, which, like I say, has never happened in a Saucony shoe before. Now, don't get me wrong, they're still fitting pretty good, so good lockdown around my midfoot and good hold in the heel, but like I said, I could have probably got away with a UK 9. So we've got plans probably 7 to 8 miles today. I'm filming this on a Friday, and this is going to be my first sort of back-to-back weekend as I prepare for the Arc. So this is the first big week of my sort of 8-week block of training, so hopefully going to get in sort of 10 to 12 miles tomorrow, and then I think we've got 18 to 20 planned for Sunday. So don't want to overdo it today. A good 7 or 8 miles in the legs should be adequate, and maybe we'll do a couple of miles at a quicker tempo because this is a lightweight daily trainer, so we'll test it out at a bit of speed. But let's crack on, let's get this run done. Against the world, nothing's gonna slow us down as long as we fall. Nothing's gonna slow us down as long as we fall. Wow, there is a super strong headwind coming around the key there, but we are coming up to 6 miles on the run, so I'm going to be turning around and heading home soon, and it is still going well. I think this is the first KINVARA I've ever run in that's got that deeply cushioned Power Run Plus insole in it, and it really is making a difference when it comes to the level of comfort. Midsole feels nice and cushioned underfoot. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to feel like an Endorphin Speed or a Triumph, you know, those deeply cushioned sort of training shoes, but for a stripped back minimal shoe, it is feeling very comfortable. Also, with it being 216 grams in a UK 9.5, it feels super responsive on foot. In fact, it feels like I haven't got a shoe on at all. And obviously with it being a non-plated running shoe, it feels really flexible at the midfoot, which, like I said back at the studio, makes a refreshing change in today's running shoe market. So let's get these sort of 2 miles done, and we'll get back to the studio, and then we'll break down the performance of the new KINVARA 14 in a bit more detail. Losing our precious time. We slide, slide, slide on the edge of time. Losing our precious time. So it looks like I timed it just right when it comes down to the weather, because it really started to cloud over just as I got back home, but we managed a real solid 8.07 miles in the new KINVARA 14 straight out the box. No real issues to speak of at all, so no hot spots, no rubbing, no blisters or anything like that. So it was a pretty good positive first outing. Also, with the world of running shoe technology continuing to advance in leaps and bounds, it was a bit like sort of running in a throwback shoe. So no crazy deep stack height of super bouncy cushioning. I felt nice and connected and close to the ground, but also no stiff, rigid midfoot either. Just nice, flexible EVA, and I gotta be honest, it felt pretty good. The engineered upper was nice and comfortable. It felt light and airy wrapped around my foot. Just the right amount of padding around that ankle collar and in the heel cut for me. And even though that tongue design is very thin, Saucony have worked in a little strip of padding down the center of that tongue, so it actually felt nice and comfortable across the top of my foot. I'd say that you get an average width when it comes to the toe box, good depth in the heel, and a nice bit of shape under that medial arch. So felt like I was getting a good level of support under my instep. I mentioned it out on the run. The only thing I would say is I do think the new KINVARA 14 size up quite long, and I think a UK 9 would probably have fitted my foot shape better. I did have to pull those laces down quite tight to feel like I was getting a good hold and lockdown around the midfoot, and after doing so I did get a little bit of puckering up on that upper down the bottom of the laces, which I'm never a big fan of. So if you are thinking about getting a pair of the new Kinvara 14s, I would definitely recommend maybe going down half a size. And I nearly forgot to mention this shoe's party trick. So a standard colorway Kinvara 14 retails in the UK for £125, whereas this version is £130. The main reason being is this forms part of Saucony's new Visi Pro range, which includes the Endorphin Speed 3, the Triumph 21, the Ride 16, and obviously the Kinvara 14. So the trick is, when you're out there working hard on your training run in a cold, damp winter's evening, this shoe is going to light up like a Christmas tree because you've got lots of high-vis detailing and material all over the upper. I've got to say, it really does look good when it gets picked out by those car headlights, but not only does it look good, but it's making you seen out there when you're running in the dark, so it is a lot safer. So that Visi Pro range is the perfect range of running shoes for this time of year. So I'd say if you are fed up with running shoes being too stiff at the midfoot or overly cushioned with deep bouncy compound in the midsole, and you like that lightweight, nimble feel to your daily trainer, then the new Kinvara 14 is definitely worth a closer look. So I'll leave a link in the description so you can check it out in a bit more detail. Now obviously this is just my first impressions after today's 8-mile run, and I'm going to be getting some more miles in the new Kinvara over the coming weeks, and then we'll be back on the channel with a full in-depth review. We are just about to start a new series on the channel following my sort of progress as we build towards the Arc of Attrition. Now, if you're not familiar with the race or you're new to the channel, then the Arc of Attrition is a super challenging coastal foot race that follows the coast path from the beautiful little fishing town of Coverack, and then you cover 100 miles all the way round to the finish at Porthtowan. I've got a fair bit of history with the race, and so has the channel, and I can't wait to bring you guys along on this year's and next year's journey, because the race actually takes place at the end of January 2024. I'm going to try my best to undo all the wrongs from this year's attempt, and it really is an incredible race, and there's an amazing atmosphere down here in Cornwall over the Arc of Attrition weekend. So keep your eyes peeled for that exciting new series starting soon, or even better, hit that bell icon, because then you'll be notified when we upload any new running content and you won't miss any of that Arc series. But that is a wrap on today's video. Really hope you enjoyed it. Really hope you found it helpful. Don't forget, if you did, to like, comment, share and subscribe. And you can also follow us on our other social media platforms, whether it be Instagram, Facebook or Strava. But for now guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. It's really appreciated. We'll be back here very soon. And as always, stay safe and keep on running. Very excited to test these lightweight trainers out today. This one, we've also got some... Welcome back folks, thanks for joining us for another video. Hope everybody is fit and well out there. So, I can't remember what I'm saying. Oh, I'm Lloyd Purvis, yeah, I forgot that bit.